What's up, y'all? Welcome back to King's Court. I'm your host, King Batch. Today, we have a special guest, a true friend of mine. You've seen him from Independence Day Resurgence to all the way to what we got going on right now. You might know him as A-Train. Chugga, chugga, choo, choo. I'm the boys. Give it up for Jessie T Usher. Woo!
What's up, dog?
What's up? How you feeling?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I feel good, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to stay busy. Keep that ball rolling.
Keep that ball rolling.
Keep that
Jessie
ball rolling.
T Usher.
Yes, sir.
Junior.
Junior.
Junior. Oh, dang. Why you leave the Junior out?
I don't.
It's on your Instagram?
I think so.
I'm going to check right
It
now.
might not be on my handle,
I'ma
but it's
check
in
right
there.
now.
It's on IMDb. It's on, check right now.
I'm going
Pull
to
it
check
up.
right now. Jessie T. Oh, it's there.
Yeah, okay.
It's there. It's there. Jessie
Look,
T.
I got the
Usher.
live phone, you know what I mean?
I thought you was ashamed of the Junior.
Nah, man. Everybody knows who my pops is.
Oh, dope. Yeah, man. So you've had a wild journey.
A little bit.
Let's talk about, when did you know that Jessie T Usher Jr. was born for stardom?
Oh, please.
When did you know you were born for
I
stardom?
still don't know. I still don't know about that.
Nah, you know.
I don't know, man. It's been a different viewpoint,
Mm-hmm.
you know, from every milestone.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think is the hardest thing in making it in this industry?
Having a real sense of capability.
Mm-hmm.
Just knowing that like you can do it.
Right. Because
Kinda goes a long way. 'Cause
there's
it's questionable.
there's naysayers.
There's more naysayers than there are yaysayers, and honestly, even half the time, you're almost convincing yourself that this is a real thing or a
Right.
tangible thing. For me, you know, more practical jobs seem more suitable for me. I never considered this to be like a career or something that I would do professionally.
You're from Maryland?
I'm from Maryland.
Yeah. So at what age did you move out to Los Angeles?
Right before my 12th birthday, I was 11 years old.
Okay. And that's when you wanted to pursue the dreams of being an actor.
Not necessarily, no. When we were living in Maryland, my sister was in the industry as well, and it kind of just seemed like the thing that our family did. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
some people, they play tennis, like whatever. Like me and my sister, we go on auditions and do commercials and plays and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my mom kind of came to us and was like, yo, you know, speaking about markets, and she was mentioning New York City, and then she mentioned Los Angeles and asked us which one we would rather do. I honestly didn't weigh the decision either way. I just said, like, LA seems cool. You know what I mean? Like, I was a kid, so I didn't feel the weight of that decision
Right.
at that time.
Right.
And when we came out here, we were sort of doing it the same way that we'd always done it. It was more so for fun. You know,
Right.
we signed up at dance classes because we love to dance.
Right.
You know, I went in and learned this type of theater or whatever because I enjoyed it, or I found an acting class that I was having fun in.
Right.
So
And-
like
and-
now, you
And
know
then
what I mean?
what was your experience in acting classes at such a young age? Were you interested in learning about it, or were you just trying to say, "Oh, let's see if it works, and if it doesn't work, I'm going back to."
Well, it never seemed like a plan A, B, or C. It was just a hobby, the way that like you play sports but you never expect to go pro. It was that sort of thing for me, at least.
Mhm.
So acting classes specifically, I felt like maybe without knowing that this was the feeling I was getting, but they were feeding something that I was addicted to. It's
Right.
that like outer body experience that you get when you are like really in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've found, you know, Richard Brander Actors Studio, rest in peace, Richard Brander. He was like my coach for the longest duration of time, and like I always had that feeling in his class.
Mhm.
It's like somebody was always challenging me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even though I didn't think that I would be using these tools to like provide a life and like, you know, and live off of this thing, like use it as a career, I didn't see it like that. It's just something that I felt like I couldn't wait to get back in the ring and like have that moment again.
Right. And how does Jessie T Usher Jr. handle rejection?
I mean, you know, it comes with the territory, bro.
Yeah.
Even as so much as stuff that I felt the absolute best about.
Mm-hmm.
It might hurt your feelings for a second, but at the end of the day, it's like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? The decision isn't entirely up to me or like one other person. There's 100 people who are trying to figure this thing out, and they don't feel like I'm the right piece of the puzzle, so they're going in another direction.
Right.
I feel like a lot of times, at least in my path, I was sort of fed that. You know what I mean? Like they're going in another direction rather than like you fucked up. Can I say fucked up on here?
Yeah, you can say
Yeah,
whatever
but like,
you
you know
want.
what I mean? Like, it was never like that. And I never, I can't say that I didn't care, because I did care.
Right.
I just didn't care if it didn't work out.
Right. And then that takes a special type of person to even get to that point. Because mentally we can all say, oh, we see the hate, we ignore the haters, we do that, and
Right.
not to care. But how do you mentally get yourself to not care? Because at the first instance, you have to care.
Yeah,
Like when
you have to care.
Yeah.
I mean, going in the room, you gotta care.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And you know when you don't. You
Mhm.
know, I had an audition today,
Mhm.
and I cared about it. And all those same nerves that have always been there all came right back. And I knew immediately, like, okay, I actually, you know, I want this one. I like it. I
Right.
care about it. But when you leave the room, it's like you leave it all there.
Right.
If you leave it all there, you can walk away from it. That's just how I feel.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would only still care about it right now as if I kept some of it.
Right.
And I didn't leave it there, and I'm gonna be sitting here the whole time like, damn, I should have. You know what I mean? Like, why
Right.
didn't I take it? That would bother me. But if I'm going in there and we really doing it, and I feel good about the performance, I
Yeah.
can leave the room with my hands up, and you know, whatever happens, happens.
Right. What was it? Smile.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a wide range of characters that you play.
Mm-hmm.
What do you prefer? Do you like the action, the drama, the horror, the sci-fi? What comedy? What do you draw to?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I prefer one genre or type of character over the other,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I enjoy being able to do different things before I go back to doing the same thing again.
Right.
I don't know if I would enjoy this as much as I do if I was just playing the same exact type of character.
Mm-hmm.
I just start to get bored.
Right.
I just feel like, oh, you know, I know this too well. I start to get lazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't start doing my homework, like whatever.
Right.
It just doesn't fuel me as much as picking up a script and going, how the hell am I about to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
okay, what? This isn't a comedy? All right, you know what I mean? You got to figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
I like the figuring it out part.
Right. So The Boys, you guys are on season 4 now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's walk through that whole process. The
All right.
audition. How did you get that role?
Man,
A-Train.
A-Train.
Everybody loves the A-Train.
It was crazy process. I was shooting Shaft, Samuel Jackson, John Davis was producing it, and this is gonna sound, it sounds so Hollywood when I say
Hey, if you Hollywood, be Hollywood.
But honestly, and this is what I be trying to explain to my family sometimes. It's like not here. I'm like, yo, it's hard to explain how this stuff works because it sometimes comes out of thin air, right? Like it's creation a lot of times. So, anyways, I'm shooting this movie, and I'm having lunch with John Davis, and he mentions Eric Kripke in this TV show, and it's called The Boys, right? He sort of mentions this to me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, you know, talking about it, asking me about it, but I really didn't know what was going on, was paying attention. I had an email from them for that audition, and I assumed that Kripke had reached out to John Davis and be like, yo, we have this thing for Jessie, blah, 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 you know, producers talk. And he brought it up. And John mentioned it to me at lunch before I knew that I had the audition. So I go home, you know, I see it, whatever. I started to put it together, start to look at the audition and break down the material and stuff and look at the timeline. And it was like 48 hours to sort of turn this tape in. This might have been a Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm shooting every day this week, and they're like, we need it by Friday. And I'm looking at my material and stuff that I got to prepare, and I'm like, sorry, but there's absolutely no way I could do both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is a heavy week. I'm not about to lose the bird in your hand for the bird in the bush. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to put my attention on this when I have this thing that I'm doing. And I'm doing it with freaking Samuel Jackson, bro. Like, I got to know these lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn.
Oh, there's no non-violent people in Harlem.
So that's kind of what it was. And then I said I wasn't going to do it. Eric Kripke calls like the next day or the day after or whenever it was and FaceTimes with John Davis when he's there. And they have this like banter together where he's saying, yo, man, why don't you give, you know, your actors a break so that they can have time to like, you know, look at something, this and that and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right? And,
Damn.
But they're just joking. They're like playing around and they're playful. And John is in on the joke. And I'm just like, what is going on right now? You know what I mean? I'm like, one, why is he calling you? And he hangs up the phone. He tells you he's a good friend. You know, he's a great showrunner. If you have some time, look at this project, so on and so forth. So I do. I go home. I took a look at it. I, did what I could. My parents were in town. They like set up for me. We shot a self-tape on it. And I hated it.
You hated the self-tape?
Oh my gosh, I hated it.
Can we see this?
No, you can't. Actually, maybe. I might have the tape.
Hey.
I might have the tape.
Can you send it to me? Hey, you can edit it and send
I would never edit it.
Okay.
I wouldn't edit it. Let me see if I have the tape.
Yeah, if you have the tape.
Oh,
we got exclusive A-Train footage. Run it.
You my dog. You know what I mean? No,
Yeah,
I'm just playing.
yeah.
So this happens. I hate the tape. I tell my agents, or I told my mom. I was on my way to set, and I'm like, yo, can you call them and let them know that like this tape sucks? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but I told them that I didn't have time to do it. I was like frustrated by it. You know what I mean? I was kind of pissed. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the tape again. I'm kind of late to get to the van to go to set, and I'm like, can we just shoot this thing like one more freaking time, because I don't want to turn this tape in. And the frustration that I felt from being in that position translated into the next tape, and that's what they liked.
Oh.
Eric Kripke was like, bro, you were like, you know what I mean? It's the scene where A-Train is. The audition was the scene where A-Train is sitting on a couch like this, and he's talking about running through Robin.
Yeah.
And he's like, I had the molar in my mouth and this and that and so on and so forth. And in the audition, I'm sitting there like, now this fucking bitch is tooth in my mouth. You know what I mean? I'm pissed about it. And the pissed about it came over in the scene, and they liked that for A-Train. So that's kind of how it worked out.
That's dope. So you did that, and that was all self-tape?
That was self-tape.
Dang. Okay.
That was self-tape.
That's dope.
In the thick of the jungle in ATL, man.
Wow. Oh, that was in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And then so now that this show is blown up to be one of the biggest shows ever,
Thank you, man.
yeah, it's great. I love it. It's edgy. I love how it has a different. Wait.
Yeah, buddy.
Was this the last season where it started off going in someone's booty hole? What season was that?
Penis.
Oh, penis! Yeah, that's what it was. What season was that?
That was
That was 3? Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was wild.
And is this a show you watch with your parents or?
I can.
Did you watch that episode with your parents?
I think so. Yeah, I think I had like family was all over at the house, and we all watched the premiere together. Yeah.
But you knew it was happening?
I knew it was happening.
Yeah.
But I mean, they know some of what's happening too. Like if some shit like that happens and I see it on set, like I'm calling them like, y'all ain't gonna believe what I just saw.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they have an idea of what may be coming, but I try not to ruin it for them too, because especially my dad, I know he likes to watch the show.
Yeah. So so you've been booking shows, movies for years and years and years. How does this show change who Jessie T Usher is?
It doesn't.
And
like in what way? What do you mean?
as far as his career path now, does he get more offers? Is it bigger auditions? Well, you already had huge auditions. How does this change? Bigger meetings? What's going on?
I think it just changes the most in the setup. I think it changes the most in the play calling. I feel like Jessie T Usher Jr. or King Batch or whoever it is like a basketball franchise. You know what I mean? And like it moves as a team, sort of. It's not me doing things independently. It's kind of how things move in unison. And when you get, say, for example, when the Lakers got LeBron James, and all of a sudden they changed the plays a little bit to say, all right, we got LeBron now, so this is how we're going to do it. So I feel like getting the boys and having the boys be received in the way that it is sort of like that. Oh. It's like, okay, we were moving like this, but now we got a lot more eyes, and, there's some other roles that are coming in, not so much as us having to go out. But the way that we move as a team is still pretty much the same. But now we know that we have, this level of a project that's sort of just keeping the ball rolling itself in a way.
Right. So Smile was a big hit. Now, what season of The Boys were you on when Smile came out? Do you remember?
I think When it came out?
Yeah, or when you filmed it, actually.
When I filmed it, I might have been in between. Dang, was I in between 2 and 3 or 3?
So people already knew you were on The Boys.
Yes,
already.
yes.
So was that an offer, or did you have to audition for that?
That was a conversation and an offer.
Oh, okay.
It was. Let's talk about it first. Let's because there were 2 different characters that I was sort of taking a look at, and I was talking to the filmmaker, Parker Finn, who was sort of explaining to me what direction he wanted to go for both, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking to him, and I mentioned the one that I was drawn to and the direction that I wanted to go in it and so on and so forth. But he wanted to have that conversation first before he was going to say, I like this guy or I don't like this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that conversation, and I feel like we met, in a nice middle ground. We clicked, honestly, on it. So we was laughing, we was joking. This is, we talking about horror and stuff, but we was cool after that. And then it was an offer.
Okay, dope. And then how does it feel being a black man, being a brother, trying to break through in this industry?
Yeah, man.
What are some of the road bumps that you've come across?
I think the biggest one that we all would come across is the roles that are quote unquote like specifically for us.
Mm-hmm.
1, being very repetitive,
Mm-hmm.
or 2, just not having a ton of opportunities there to begin with. It's a different game when you break into the all ethnicity breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? When your inbox goes from young African American male to young any ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That is like that is absolutely a roadblock that's there that you kind of have to prove that you're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, I know I can deliver these black jokes.
Yeah.
And they're like, but can you deliver these jokes too? Like, or can you adapt to this type of timing? Or, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after you do it a couple times, then all of a sudden you're just in those rooms.
Right.
And those opportunities are there. So I think that was the biggest thing. You know, trying to navigate through this industry without getting typecast.
Right. And as far as like being, because you're one of the only African Americans on The Boys, what's the dynamic like with that cast? Who you close with? Who you not close with?
I'm as close to as many of them as you can be because it's such a huge cast, and like, we be on set different days and so on and so forth. We try as a cast to like spend some time together and be cool. Like me and Carl started golfing this last season.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man, that was like super dope because most of the time Carl would be the one that I see the least. In the past seasons and stuff, you don't see us together much at all. So we were always separate, and that just became our thing. You hit me up and be like, yo, I'm going golfing this week, this time, or if you're not working, let's go. And we would do it. So like we purposefully will stay integrated and like make sure that everybody's cool. The cast is dope. Me and Laz naturally hit it off. I feel like we had a lot of the same taste and interest and stuff in restaurants. So when we first got to Toronto, we were like, I found this restaurant. You want to go? You know what I mean? Like, hell yeah, let's slide.
What type of food you like?
Everything, bro. We want everything. Yo, we be in Toronto like, what else y'all got? Like literally list of food. Like the best of the best, to the holes in the walls, to the best kept secrets.
Yeah.
Everything.
And are you single? You seeing someone?
I'm single.
You're single.
So I'm on dinner dates.
And Toronto got him.
Yo, listen.
Toronto got him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm Canadian. I know.
Oh, you are.
So I know you was having a blast.
What you mean, man? I was working and playing golf.
You was playing a different type of ball game.
Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, but never mind. Go ahead. Continue. What were you about to say? Something?
No, we was talking about your balls getting played with. No, so the thing with the fame, how do you handle the women in your life? How do you juggle between this person likes me for who I am, this person likes me because I'm a celebrity? How do you know? How do you truly know?
I don't think you do. You don't truly know, but you rightfully can expect to a certain degree. I don't expect, like when I go out and I meet someone, usually I can tell people who are like, drawn to you because of they've seen it on TV or something or whatever, right? But there's always that gray area and there's always that middle ground. But what am I trying to say? Like, I feel like I have my expectations on ground level,
Right.
in terms of that, and whatever degree of it that comes, it's just more so. I'm not gonna pretend that it's not there.
Yeah.
Does that
I know
make
what
sense?
you're saying. Yeah.
Is that, like,
Everybody
I don't expect you to
knows
know.
you.
I don't expect you to know who I am.
But here's the thing.
But I'm also not gonna expect for no one around you to know who I am.
Right.
And that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, shit, someone comes up, they take a selfie with you.
And then all of a sudden, everybody, the whole room knows.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
they want to find out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And so, like, things, if something like that happens, and like, you have to expect, like, okay, at least she knows that even if she has no idea who I am,
She know you somebody.
she's on her own gonna find out.
Right.
Or she's gonna ask or
Yeah.
whatever.
Now, do you ever use that to your advantage?
In what way?
Don't answer that question. We ain't trying to get you canceled. Now, let me pivot.
No, actually, I can answer that question.
Okay, yeah.
I absolutely do.
Okay.
I use it to my advantage to, like, help the homies, man. Like, if we're going somewhere and it's difficult because, like, me and the homies are all just chilling, 6 dudes, you know what I mean? We're going to go into a spot. Yes, I'm absolutely going to walk up. You know what I mean? And yes. Well, not even necessarily wingman. No, because I don't mean in terms of girls. They on their own. Hell nah. First of all, you wouldn't be my homie if you ain't had no game. So...
Speak the truth, brother. Speak it.
Shout out to the Wolf Pack, man. Listen. But what I'm saying is, like, in terms of that stuff, they on their own. But, like, in terms of access to other things, do I use the A-Train thing? Absolutely.
Right.
Will I do it on my own? Probably never. But,
Right.
like, if my sister's there and she wants to go to this concert and can't nobody get tickets but A-Train, I'm gonna call.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you use it. You use your powers for good.
I try to.
Damn, that's deep.
Look, man, the
he a
boys is
superhero.
teaching me a lesson,
He
bro.
a superhero in real life. He a superhero in real life.
Nah, man, watching that show, reading those scripts, I'm like, ooh, you gotta be a good person.
Dang. Yeah, because that show, those guys,
Yeah.
their morals are a little iffy.
If that.
So that's how you navigate in the relationships. Now, how have you had a girl pretend to not know who you are, but indeed know who you are?
I wouldn't say pretend. I would say downplay.
How would she downplay it?
I see this happens a lot. More so than not, I'll say. I'll meet somebody. They'll acknowledge, like, look, I know you are, whatever, or, you know, something.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it, right? And that'll be it. And then a week later, I'll see her again, but, like, with her friends. Her friends will
Really,
be like,
bitch?
her friends will be
Really, bitch? You gonna bring somebody?
Or I'll see her again with, like, her cousin or her brother or whatever. And
Or they do this. They hit you with the FaceTime out of the blue.
No. They'll just be like, did you tell him we watch the show every week? And then I'm just like, oh, why didn't you tell me?
Oh, she tried to keep it
Why didn't you tell me that it was that deep? You know what I mean? Like, I understand, but a lot of people would just be like, oh, yeah, like, you know, I've heard of you. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's okay.
Yeah.
And then a week later or whatever, you find out that she's, like, has the boys' fan page. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
Wait, she got a fan page?
Like, that type of stuff is crazy, bro.
Oh, wow. But that
doesn't happen often, but, like, you know,
But
it does happen.
also you got to think on the other side. It's like, oh, if there's a celebrity or someone you look up to, keep it cool.
Yeah, keep
You don't
it
want to
cool.
be a weirdo because then they're gonna be like,
Keep it cool.
Yeah.
Keep it cool.
Mhm.
But I also feel like you could keep it honest.
Right.
Because, like, when I meet people that I admire, that I watch on TV, I try my best to keep it cool. But at the same time, when I shake your hand, I'm going to tell you, I loved your freaking work. I saw
Right.
this and I liked it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're on the other side though. You're not a
Yeah, that's
civilian.
true.
You're not a
That's true.
civilian.
That's true. But, like, even when I meet artists and stuff,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? When I'm not in that world at all.
Yeah.
And to them, I might just be a fan. But, like, when I'm walking up to them and I'm saying, like, yo, I like this. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I know you from this. This is what I appreciate about you. And then we can just be cool.
Right.
We got it out. Like,
Yeah.
we've aired it out. I feel like what people, specifically girls, don't do is air it out.
Yeah.
And if you were to have some advice, Air it out.
Air it out.
Air it out.
Because there is that negative thing of being a groupie, and no girl wants to be a groupie.
No girl wants to be that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you keep in a secret, like it starts to seep out. So just air it out.
Yeah. I had one girl one time pretend not to know who I was. We was at the club. I was young. I was in my 20s. And
Fashion in the 20s in the club.
in a club, that was a day. 300,000 followers on Instagram.
That's what I got now.
Pulling.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Hey, that's all you need. All you need is 300,000.
That's it.
That's
I
all
don't
you
need
need.
another follower, bro. I'm good.
When I hit 300,000
You
followers,
felt...
bro, I was unstoppable, bro.
Dang.
I would go into this is what I would do.
But here's the thing. You had 300,000 followers when nobody else had 300,000 followers. You had 300,000 followers when...
What you talking about? Inflation?
Bro.
This man over here talking about inflation.
No. I mean, you had the recognizable career in light that
Right.
a lot of people have been trying to emulate since you've done it.
Right.
That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
It's like you had 300,000 followers when I had like 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
But
was
still-
killing it.
But still, 300. Yeah, I guess.
No, at the time when you was walking around saying you had 300,000 followers, nobody had ever heard of someone having 300,000 followers. Being able to say, "Yo, I got 300,000 followers," you were like a Kardashian at the time, bro.
I was a black Kardashian.
Yes, you-
No, but it was crazy because I would
Yeah.
this is what I would do. This was my move. I didn't have to have game. I would walk into a club,
Yeah.
just look around like this, 5 minutes, walk out.
Damn.
And look at my DMs. I just saw you. Where you going? Where you going? Back to my place, bitch. Come through. I didn't say that, but that's how it was happening. It was happening just like that.
That's
to the point.
crazy.
And this is what I want to say. I went to a club and I was chilling. This girl came up to me, pretending not to know who I was, whatever. She was like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, Batch, cool, nice to meet you. That's a cool name. It's a weird name. Da da da.
Mhm.
Come back to my place. Da da da. Do our thing. And then
You guys play the drums.
yeah, we played the drums.
Got it.
And then I go to the bathroom. She leaves the next morning. I go look at her Snapchat because I got her name, and I look at her Snapchat, and I see her last picture is a selfie with her on my bed wearing my merch saying King Batch. Yeah, she got my dumb ass. And I was like, oh, she played me. And from that
See,
day
man.
forward, I don't trust nobody.
Here's the thing. That's why you just can't be that horny, man.
I was 23.
All right.
I was 23.
I was 23 with 300,000 followers.
Hey, I had to get my dick wet. At
Look,
23.
and nobody really knew the game at that time either.
Right.
Now
yeah.
I feel like if that type of shit is happening, like you absolutely know the game, but
Yeah.
like then it was brand new.
Yeah.
And you were 23.
I was 20. I got played. She played me.
Yeah.
I felt.
That's probably
I
still
felt
her profile picture.
like,
right now.
bro. You know, like
on her snap.
you know, like in those Law and Order shows when they the victim and they start covering up like that. That's how I felt after I saw that post. I said, I'm a victim. I'm a victim.
Should have reposted it. You gotta drop a mixtape and use that photo now.
No, but it's situations like that where
Yeah.
you build going forward, and it's like now we have our walls up, which kind of sucks. But yeah, now that situation where the girl downplayed it and she really watched the show every night.
Now because of, I mean, that's happened like maybe 2 or 3 times. I
Mhm.
would say now because of that, I ask.
How do you ask? How would you
It
go
just
about
depends on the person. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Depends on the conversation and where we're going. Usually in the moment, if
Mhm.
she brings it up, then I'm like, all right, so let me just ask. You
Right.
know what I mean? She's like, oh, I know who you are. I'd be like, really? How?
it? Right.
From what? And she's like, oh, I've seen the boys. I'm like, all right, cool. Like,
Now
we've
you know.
aired it out.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
if
yeah.
she has something more to say, she'll just say it.
Yeah.
Usually.
And then you get the girls that kind of play it too. They play it too cool, where it's too like
Mhm.
no. Like I went on a date with the girl, and she was on another like reality show, and it's on her Instagram profile pic. So
Mhm.
it's in her profile.
Right.
So I know what the show is, and I'm just trying to air it out.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do the natural thing, air it out. And she's like, oh no, I can't tell you what show I'm on. I hate talking about
I hate
this.
that. Why?
I don't want to talk about how famous I am. I'm famous and I can't talk about it. No. Here. Okay, fine.
Oh,
And I'm like, just tell me and in my head, like, so this is what we
Yeah.
do now as men. We got to play these psychology tricks to see where is this person, like, where are they at on the scale?
Where are they at?
So
Yeah.
now I see, like, oh, she's playing this. Now I can't trust this girl. So now I just know, like, okay, this ain't the one for me. Moving on.
I just
So-
look, man. You got to walk in the door humble and vulnerable, no
Mhm.
matter what.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then if somebody else is coming with something different, you know to just walk away. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, you got to. You got to walk away sometimes. Damn, so I had to. We can't talk about that on this show, but I had a big one. I had to walk away from big booty.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you
away.
meant. You know what I mean? I didn't know where we was going.
So dating. How is the dating scene now? After, because here's the thing: when you get to a certain level, and this is my fear, right? Of you become so successful. And it's like money, right? MC Hammer. Remember MC Hammer ran out of all the money?
Yeah.
Because he had so much of it coming in that he's like, oh, it's never going to run out.
Right.
Now, you, attractive young man, you successful, ladies are coming at you. How do you know, okay, I need to lock it down. I need to be serious before this all runs out and I end up alone?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I think every step of the way, I have rethought that question through and given it a shot. And obviously it hasn't worked out. So each time that it didn't work out, I just set another standard for myself.
As far as standard, what do you mean by standard? Like are you lowering your standard?
No, sometimes I'll change them. What's important to me now might not be as important 5 years ago and then 5 years before that. You know what I'm saying? So obviously I'm turning 32 soon. I have a 7-year-old daughter. Like my prerequisites for dating are different than when I was 23. You know what I mean? So like you kind of have to, I ask myself again, like, all right, so what am I looking for in the woman? Like what matters to me the most?
What would be your top 3 things that matter?
It's tough, man.
Come on. No, you
That's
know.
tough. No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why it's tough. It's tough because every time I've put that much energy into somebody, I've done it with full intention of that being it, right? I've never dated for fun. I don't understand why people do that. It seems like a big waste of time and energy. So I've always put a lot into it. And if it didn't work out, I've moved that attention and energy into something else, usually career-wise.
And then let's talk about this right here. Why doesn't it usually work out? I know there has to be some kind of pattern. What happens where it doesn't work out?
Man, distance is hard, bro. Distance is tough. It's super, super tough. And I feel like maybe certain types of people can deal with it in different ways. You know what I'm saying? But like, I hate long-distance relationships. But I can't have a halfway decent career without that being the case.
So here's and this may be a solution, may not be a solution. Do you agree with if you have the finances to move that person to you and pick up, and that's what would be the definition of a housewife? Do you believe in having a housewife, a woman that means she would have to sacrifice her career and just attend to you? Is that?
I think it's definitely an option on the table. I feel like maybe even 10 years ago, I'd be like, hell nah. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm working this hard, we both got to work. But then you start to see how money works and you start to value other things other than just income or beauty or whatever. You know what I mean? That's when you start to like rearrange those standards that we were talking about. And I think that's absolutely something that I would consider. You know, it's hard enough trying to be as proactive career-wise and to not miss a beat of my daughter's life as it is. Bringing in another person, like the dynamic, something's got to happen. You know what I'm saying? So like figuring out what that is with the person that I choose to be with, I'm open to like any and everything. I'm not going to say, well, not any and everything, but I'm open to like more than what I would have been open to before. But the reason why I can't tell you what my top 3 standards are right now is because I honestly don't care what you coming with. I'm not doing it until I reach a couple other things that I have in my life that we don't need to get into right now. But there's like some career, some personal stuff where I'm like, cool, when this is set, then I feel like I'll be ready. My foundation will be different when I get into it.
And is that your doing, or is that advice you've gotten? Because
I think it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I have, you know, higher expectations for myself now than I ever have before. And that's not even just work-wise, you know what I'm saying? There's things that I absolutely do want to do in my career that I haven't done before that I'm using this time now to make sure that they get done.
Right. So you're focusing.
I'm focused.
Now, this is a thing that older people have told me that have been in relationships. You have a personality trait like a lot of others who you're always going to set a new goal for yourself. Now, Do you have it in you to stop when you reach this goal?
Yes.
Because, like you said, your brain, your mindset 5 years ago is different from your mindset now. What if in 3 years you accomplish this goal, but your mindset is totally different? It's like, yeah, I accomplished that goal 3 years, but now my real goal, me mature, is this.
Okay, I think because I view my goals sort of like. I think all of my goals are a part of the master plan. The master plan does include a partner. The master plan, had always include a family and children, marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like that was always a part of the master plan. So that's never gone. What I'm saying now is like, okay, I started with this foundation. This is what I thought that I could build the best whatever on. You know what I'm saying? So like this is where it's at. And then try for it, and if it didn't work out, I say, all right, well, maybe I can change. Like now I'm back to ground zero. Maybe I can change the foundation and go for this. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that I mean. So when I'm getting into the next situation, the next relationship, it'll just be from a different place. But I would absolutely be ready to. Hell, I'll stop working for the right. You know what I mean?
All right, come on.
I'm just saying,
that's going
bro.
against who
what
you
about
are.
being a house husband? I love my job, but damn it, I can cook too.
You can cook?
Hell yeah, bro. I went to culinary school. What you mean?
You did?
Yeah, bro. Well, I studied culinary arts at GCC, but still, same thing.
Oh, damn. I did know that. I got that on my notes.
I'm dead.
I do.
When preparation meets opportunity,
Yeah.
great things can happen.
That's crazy.
Listen, but honestly though, like, I see how it works. I've seen my parents do like a back and forth thing where my dad was working a lot and then my mom was at home with us and then my mom was killing it and then Pops was staying back and I'm like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But I've seen how it can work. That's why I say like, if I meet the person where I'm like, this is it, and she's like, yeah, but like, you can't act no more. I'll be like,
no,
let me produce then. Like I would try to compromise.
I don't think that's a healthy relationship where someone's trying to
I don't
change.
think somebody would come in and say like you can't do something that she knows that I love in that way. But I do see that there being elements in this industry that like a partner will come in and say like we gotta commit to whatever.
And you can do that if you're at the right level.
Yeah.
When you get to like the level, Ryan Reynolds, for instance, he can call his shots. He can say, I'm going to take this year off and spend it with my family. Right. And then next year we can resume because he has the finances, B, the notoriety. He can do what he needs to do. Because you could take a year off. But yeah, I see what you're saying. You have to get to that point where you can make those decisions. Right.
I need to have control of this vehicle. That's the one thing that I've never had in a relationship. My vehicle is always being driven by someone else. Always. I mean, like, what are you going to do? You got to learn this industry. You got to learn this game. You got to take the advice.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? You got to try it. You got to try for these roles.
Have you been close to finding your one?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so.
And then what happened? Because here's another thing I heard. It's we're never going to find the perfect someone.
Right.
We have to see who we're willing to make it work with. So did you let this person go?
That's an interesting. What was that? Say that one more time.
We're never gonna find the perfect someone. We have to find someone who we're willing to make it work.
With.
Yeah.
See, that's interesting, and I don't know if I should even say this because I might get some calls and get cussed out.
No, go ahead, talk, brother. We helping other people out.
This is dang. You gonna make me say this?
Come on, say it, brother. We here.
All right. All that I'm saying is, for me to have gotten to that level with someone, I had to have felt like I can make it work every single time. I would not have gotten into a relationship if I didn't feel like there's enough there for me to make it work. I think at different times, sometimes it had been me who missed the mark. Sometimes it had been me who dropped the ball. And then sometimes...
In what way? Out of impulses or being driven by your career?
No, I'm not super impulsive. I'm pretty strategical, and I definitely am an overthinker, for sure. I think, it always had been either... and I hate to use this term, like I really do, because I just hate what it means sometimes, but you can't serve two gods.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in the middle of that, and one thing is being receiving and the other one is being conflicting,
Mm-hmm.
you're usually going to go with the one that's like more receiving.
Right.
So if it ever came down to career versus relationship, and the career is like, we love you, and the relationship is like, fuck this, you're like, well, shit, I'ma just, you know what I mean? Like, why would I, even though at one point I felt like I can make this work, and I still feel like this. I think I could have made it work with every relationship that I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it not working out more so of the time was the lesson that taught me how I could have made it work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't realize it until you get out of the relationship, and you like, damn, if I had only just been able to articulate this in this way, then it probably all could have worked out.
Right. So you're collecting data in a sense.
In a sense.
Would you ever go back to a relationship that didn't work out? Or have you...
That's
as a mature man,
as
knowing what you want.
Right. Okay. Here's what I'll say. As a mature man, knowing what I want, meeting the people that I've met, hearing the stories that I've heard, I do believe that people can cross paths in a completely different time and place in their lives and have something completely different. I do believe in that. I've seen it. You know what I mean? I've seen people that I've known not to have been together, but they were at one point, and then come back in a completely different place in their lives and only really connect on the levels that drew them to each other in the first place, and the rest of the shit is just gone. I've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I can't say absolutely not. You know what I mean? I've seen it happen. I believe in it, but like, would I personally want to do it? Not necessarily. I feel like I would always be thinking about, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It just, I honestly don't know.
Here's what I'm gathering as well. I feel like you're a very smart person. You're very intellectual, not just like just brain, but emotional. You have emotional intelligence, which may hurt you because you're it's like, if you're probably perfect match as someone who also has very high emotional intelligence, right? But what happens when
that
those
would be nice.
what happens when you guys collide?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Would you want to be with someone who's very emotionally intelligent, or would you want to be with someone who and when I say emotionally intelligent, someone that challenges you to think and not think that, oh, what your way of thinking is right all the time. She's gonna tell you you're wrong, but you're so emotionally intelligent, you're like, no, this is the right way of thinking. And would you disagree with being challenged so much where you're like, no, this is too challenging. Let me go down to someone who I can just be happy with and get along with life.
See, I'm not too into the just be happy and get along with. I do like people to challenge me, but I like it to come from not a place of I just need to challenge you. That I feel like I've never really gravitated towards those types of people, but I love being challenged. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love it.
You love a good debate.
I love a good debate. I love a good debate.
Right.
I don't like to fight, but I love a good debate. I love a good intellectual conversation. I hate when, and this is not just in relationships, this is friendships and stuff too, where people step to you just cuz. You know what I mean? And it's usually like, if it's coming from a homie or something, it's like ego. You know what I mean? And we all kind of do it sometimes. We're just like, well, I don't even care if I'm right or wrong. It's just the fact that I'm going to stand on business. Now you just look like a big ass dumbass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, on the opposite side of, if you're dealing in a relationship, and I've literally heard these words come out of a girl's mouth before.
What?
I'm not kidding. I've heard these words come out of a girl's mouth before. I started a fight with you because you were right about everything, and I just needed something to be right about.
What?
And that's what I said. I was like, why? Like, what's the point?
Because you was hitting 10 out of 10?
Literally. I'm like, yo, what is the point of that?
Yeah.
Like, I understand you having something that you feel like you know what I mean? Like, you feel like, okay, I need to get this point across, but if you don't have one,
But here's the thing: as a man and as a emotionally intelligent man, do you let them win the fight sometimes?
Yes.
Do you let them win the argument? Do
Oh,
you go to
yes.
bowling and let them beat you?
Absolutely.
But do you feel okay with that at the end of the
Yes.
day?
Yes. And I think I've learned.
And you don't feel that's a
Well,
that's a
here's
form
the
of
thing.
manipulation?
No, here's the thing. I have learned to be okay with it because I've seen what it can do for someone. And sometimes it's really not that big of a deal. I would rather you feel good. I would rather you have a better day. I would rather this be better than to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's not worth that. But if I feel like you're doing something that's damaging to yourself or to me or to what we have, then I will absolutely, I'm not going to just let you win that type of thing. If you're right about it, then you're right about it. But if you're wrong about it, I'm not going to give you the win if what you're doing is ultimately going to cause damage.
Right. So these have you met someone that's on your same emotional intelligence level?
Yes, I've actually met someone who is, I've met plenty. I mean, I've gotten close to someone who was far more emotionally intelligent.
And how did that go?
That was a learning experience. It's a learning experience. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my God, is that why? Is this why? Like, you just start analyzing stuff. But then you start to, I feel like meeting a woman who is extremely emotionally intelligent is like one of the most life-changing things that a man can go through. Because now you are allowed to get a peek behind, or not allowed, but now you're able to get a peek behind the curtain that we go through our entire existence, our entire lives, and never know what a woman is thinking or feeling a lot of the time. And then now you have this woman who's able to say in man terms what this is. And you're like, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's eye-opening. But the other thing that I would say is 10 times more eye-opening is having a daughter. 10 times more.
And then let's talk about this. A couple years ago, you told me that the mother of your child was like, you guys are like the best of friends. And I don't want to go too much into it, but I asked you, do you feel like it's better to have a child with someone you're dating or friends with? And what's your view on that? With the career you have.
With the career that I have, I think I can't say what's better or worse. I think it depends on how you feel about it. I think I sleep better at night knowing that she and I are not at each other's throats. I sleep much better at night knowing that my daughter wakes up happy whether she's in her bed at daddy's house or her bed at mommy's house. And I think a lot of that comes from me and, excuse me, her mother having just laid it bare, started from neutral, and rebuilt the friendship, the kinship that we had when we first met. You know what I'm saying? It's like the romance is gone. Okay, we've shed down all this other stuff, and we just enjoy each other's company. Like we've known each other for so long. We have so much to talk about.
Right.
There's so much that we can talk through involving like our daughter because we have such a good relationship. And I'm like very, very thankful for that because there's so much more that's going on, you know, like with this job and this industry, and it's like the pressures and you know, just the way that you have to be able to lock in and apply yourself and really keep your attention on something. I'm able to do that because I feel like she's good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're close enough to where if she wasn't good, she can come to me and say, look, you know, this is like stressing me out. This is too much. This is, you know, I could do whatever. Like whatever it is, I feel like we have that open dialogue. We can have that conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been good.
That's dope, man. Well, we're about out of time, but
Hey, we've been talking that much?
Yeah.
Goodness.
I got rapid questions for you.
Oh shit. Rapid fire? All right, bet.
Fire.
Let's go.
So he
Let's get it.
So yeah, if you don't want to answer the question, just say pass, okay?
Pass. Nigga, skip whatever you about to say. I know it's gonna be some bullshit. Now go ahead. Come on.
If you could read everyone's mind for a day, would you do it?
Yes.
Would you rather face a horse? Would you rather face one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
One horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized 100 duck-sized horses.
Oh, you think you could fight them all?
I would just rather that than one horse-sized duck. You imagine the size of his beak? Nah, I'm not taking my chances with that.
All right. What's one rule you're proud of breaking?
What's one rule you're proud of breaking? I don't know if it's a rule or if it's a way of life, but
Bars.
Asking for forgiveness, not asking for permission.
Damn, that's deep. Dinner with Ice Spice or 500,000 in cash?
500,000.
Damn. Okay.
Bro, 500,000.
Okay.
500,000? No. We're gonna break this down. Let's break this down. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all,
yeah.
the reality of the situation is the chances of me being in the same room as Ice Spice at some point are high.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to, I could at least initiate going to dinner with Ice Spice. I could get an answer and still get to 500,000. Why wouldn't I take that?
All right. Dinner with Ice Spice or $30 cash? If you pick the $30, I swear to God.
Who writes these questions?
I do.
Obviously, I'm taking the dinner with Ice Spice.
Okay, good. Hey, Ice Spice, come get your boy.
Yeah.
Come get your boy. Hey, if y'all start dating, hey, come on.
Yeah, it'll come down to this.
In an alternate universe, when you're not an actor, what's your profession?
Chef.
Tell us about a scene that never made it on the screen but wish you had.
Ooh.
In The Boys.
In The Boys. There's a scene, I think I can talk about it. It's considered bonus footage at somewhere too. There's a scene where Reggie Franklin or A-Train goes in to see his lawyer when he's getting kicked out of the 7. He needs to get his finances in order and he finds out that he's broke. That was I feel like was
Amazon, we need to see that scene.
It's on there somewhere. It's on, like, go to Amazon, look it up. You can find the scene.
What's a conspiracy theory you find fascinating or plausible?
Wait, say that one more time.
What's a conspiracy theory you find fascinating?
Shit, I don't know, man. I don't be listening to conspiracy theories.
For real?
Like that. Yeah, I know.
You got you a bunker?
I do not have a bunker.
You gotta get you a bunker.
I don't need a bunker. I don't need a bunker.
Zombie apocalypse or alien invasion? Which one do you think could survive longer in?
Zombie apocalypse. I'd survive longer in that.
What kind of zombies, though? These World War Z or a Walking Dead zombies?
Either way, I feel like I would survive longer in that because aliens are completely unpredictable. I have no idea. It'd be like my own personal experience. I feel like I would get bested. But in a zombie apocalypse, I just need to be smarter than the majority of the humans around me in order to survive it to the end. Because, like, most of the time, they don't make it because they're the strongest or the smartest. They've just sacrificed people to get there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's
zombie
true.
Apocalypse, you don't want to be my neighbor. Go ahead.
If you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I don't know. That's tough. Tacos.
Tacos are good.
Tacos.
Okay. Super Bowl question.
Okay.
Who you got? Chiefs or Niners?
49ers? I think I got the Chiefs.
You Chiefs.
I
So
think
you're
I
a Taylor Swift fan.
Listen, my daughter doesn't leave me a choice, bro. I was looking up tour dates last week because she's got so much pressure on my head right now. But Taylor Swift, come back to this side so I can please take my daughter to your show. She plays your songs every day in the car.
Do you think the NFL is scripted?
No.
So you think the Chiefs really should be here?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that all sports, nationally televised sports, are still a form of entertainment.
They are legally.
Let's say that. So, but I also think that regardless of what you put on paper, there are real athletes on that field who have to make these plays.
Right.
There are plays that have to be made. There's passes that got to get caught. You know what I'm saying?
But there are
Tackles.
conspiracy theories. This is where conspiracy theories come in, where Patrick Mahomes is running and a tackler will just trip out of nowhere.
I mean, I can't say if that
field goals missed
I can't
out of
say
nowhere.
if that's true or not, but it's still, you have to be in that position. Like Michael Jordan had to hit the shot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the one that everybody always comes down to because it's individualized. But I feel like that applies in every.
Can I tell you my prediction?
What's that?
The Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce relationship, it's a thing right now.
Yep.
It's a thing. I ain't gonna say it's fake because if I say it's fake, that all the Swifties gonna come for me. So I say it's real. It's a
Okay.
real relationship. And my thing is they're highlighting it so much to the point where it's like, oh, they're setting her up to perform at the Super Bowl. So they're giving Taylor Swift all these NFL fans. So when she performs at the Super Bowl, it's like, oh yeah, we expected this.
Right.
Because listen, the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl. Look how much their franchise has grown. Look how many viewers the NFL now has because Taylor Swift is a part of this.
100%.
So that's what I think on it. Do you agree?
No.
So you're not into these conspiracies that I'm thinking?
I'm not into the conspiracy theory. Because here's what I think is more. Here's how my mind works.
Yeah.
In terms of like
We got 2 minutes. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we go over, we can edit it. But this is how my mind works when it comes to these types of scenarios. Taylor Swift is at the top of her game, right?
Yeah.
Travis Kelce is too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more likely that two people who are at the absolute top of their game meet each other, find each other attractive, and decide to do this. And then the worlds that move around them decide, well, let's capitalize on this because when the hell is this type of shit gonna happen again?
Right.
Like Homeboy is definitely Super Bowl bound.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift is like one of the biggest artists on the planet. They like each other. Let's get behind this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how my mind works.
Yeah.
Because if I was an executive who was doing the NFL, like I would literally be saying, look, get coverage on this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we might not ever have an opportunity like this again. These numbers are skyrocketing.
So you say Chiefs still win?
I still think Chiefs win.
Okay. You say Chiefs win because of talent.
I say Chiefs win because Patrick Mahomes is throwing that ball.
I think they're setting up Patrick Mahomes to be the next Tom Brady. I think the Chiefs are going to win because of the script. So I'm putting $20. Oh no, I'm gonna put the money that you put down for Ice Spice, $30. I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna put it on the Chiefs. Thank you guys for watching King's Court Podcast with your guest Jessie T Usher Jr. Don't forget the Junior. Make sure you guys check him out on The Boys. He's everywhere. Just follow him on the gram. What's your Instagram?
Just Jessie T Usher, my name.
There's no Junior in that.
There's no Junior in the handle because it's long. Okay, people already think my name is Jessie Tusher because I put the T in there. I'm like, come on, man.
Jessie Tusher.
Everyone thinks my name is not everyone, but a lot of people think my name is Jessie Tusher.
Oh, damn. All right. And if you want to get your chance to be seen on the King's Court Podcast, all you got to do is send a video, landscape, that's a horizontal, and say, hey, what's up, y'all? Say your name. You're watching the King's Court Podcast with your host, King Batch, and today's guest is, boom, you send that in to the email, and we gonna get you up in here. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. Deuces.